there, everybody. I'm Jonathan Knight, and this is B Movie Madness. Thanks for coming back. It's been a while since I've done one of these reviews. In fact, it's been nearly a year. I plan on taking a break, and that break just went on and on and on and on. It just got longer and longer. But now I'm back, and tonight I'll be checking out the 2023 wrestling movie, Kill City Cup, America's Most Badass Tournament, directed by Luke Robert. Before I get into the review for this, I want to talk about the backstory of the movie, and then I'll, actually talk about the movie. Kill City Cup is presented by the largest and most powerful company in the world, Kill Corp. Kill Corp rose to prominence after the Great War of 2035, a battle over depleted natural resources which saw countries fighting over what little reserves were left. Humanity was on the brink of eliminating themselves when a great visionary, Mr. Kill, came up with a miracle energy source, green electricity. The new electricity was able to be adapted to power everything. Finally, the world had a clean, renewable, and self-sustaining energy. All forms of transportation, factories, and electronics were soon running on green. Humanity was saved, or so we thought. Once every aspect of society ran on green, Mr. Kill's evil plan came to fruition. He was able to remotely shut down any green source energy he wanted, forcing the population of the world to submit to him, doing his bidding and making him king. Naturally, people tried to band together to rebel against the king. However, with no sources of power left, the revolts ended as suddenly as they began. Entire nations' power supplies were shut off until all the rebels were eliminated. People turned on each other, their friends, neighbors, even their own families, to appease the king. The world was helpless. Mr. Kill was cunning as he was evil. He knew a distracted population was a happy one, so he launched Kill City Cup, a modern-day gladiator tournament to keep the masses entertained and pacified. So, what did I think of Kill City Cup? Honestly, I had a blast watching it. Now, I'm not the biggest expert on wrestling. I have not watched wrestling itself since probably the late 2000s, but I do watch wrestling related stuff. Like I watch old WrestleManias. I watch The Dark Side of the Ring, which is a fantastic docu-series. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. And I love wrestling movies. Now, Kill City Cup, I wouldn't really quite call a movie because it doesn't really have a story. The backstory I just told you about is before the events of the movie, which is the tournament. So my review of this is I'm going to review it match by match, and I'll tell you which characters are in that match. I was going to try not to spoil the matches, but I kind of have to in the later ones. But I will not spoil the very final match. You'll have to see the movie yourself to see the outcome of that. Now, match one is Maxwell Chicago versus Neo Shaman versus Hekate's Hangman. Now, of all the matches of the movie, this one's probably my least favorite. Don't get me wrong, I was entertained by it. I just didn't find it as entertaining as the rest of them, and I consider this assortment of wrestling characters to be the weakest of the movie. I thought, Neo Shaman was pretty cool, but Maxwell Chicago and Hekate's Hangman were not my favorites. But I thought the wrestling itself was actually pretty well done. I think Luke Robert told me that most of the cast are actual professional wrestlers and some aren't. But I thought everyone did a good job in this match, and it was a pretty good one still. Now, match two is Russian Crush versus Zip Monk versus Dr. Mercury. Now, this assortment of characters are awesome. I loved every single one of them. First off, Russian Crush. Just look at her. She's a hot babe. Automatically, 2 thumbs up from me. Zip Monk. He looks awesome. I particularly like the makeup appliance of, the zipper going up in his face and revealing the, flesh underneath it. And Dr. Mercury, now when he first comes out of the ring, he's wearing the mask that was in the picture. I thought the mask was awesome. He does not use that in the ring. I don't know why. Maybe it wasn't practical, but I thought he looked badass. He looked pretty cool. He looked like something you've seen like straight out of a slasher movie, which I'll be getting to more of that soon. The match itself was a lot of fun. The wrestling itself was good. Russian Queen was badass. I thought Dr. Mercury did a solid job. But overall, I think Russian Queen was the MVP of this particular match. As much as I like Zip Monk and Dr. Mercury, they were cool, but she was the most badass of the three, and overall my favorite. Now, match three is Mason X versus Bones the Voodoo Warrior versus Leon of the Wasteland. Now look at that assortment. They look fucking incredible. Mason X looks like he just came out of the most awesome 80s slasher movie. I really like the skull mask. Bones the Voodoo Warrior, love the makeup. He looks creepy and cool. And Leon of the Wasteland looks like he just came out of the most insane post-apocalyptic movie ever made. The match itself was freaking great. I think this probably might have the best wrestling of the movie. Um, I'm trying to think of the other matches. It might have the best wrestling in the movie. I think everybody did an incredible job. I particularly liked the end of the match. I thought that was really well done. Um, and if I have to give an MVP of this particular match, it will definitely be Leon of the Wasteland. He kicked a lot of ass, so got to give him huge props. So another perfectly entertaining match. Now, match 4 is The Machine versus Hekate's Hangman. Now, Hekate's Hangman, he was the winner of match 1, so we've already seen him before. But The Machine is basically the Terminator if he wrestled. I really liked the makeup appliance on him. I thought actually that looked really cool. I thought the makeup appliances in this movie in general looked really cool. But if I have to pick a favorite one, I thought that looked awesome. The makeup Terminator-esque, revealed the cyborg underneath the skin. Now, before Hekate's Hangman comes out and wrestles the Machine, there's a couple of wrestlers that come out and wrestle him. And as Mr. Kill says, he cuts through them like a knife through butter. So they don't last very long. So I won't mention them. I'll let you see for yourself. But the match itself was great. Hekate's Hangman wasn't one of my favorites of the first match, but I thought he really held his own in this match. The Machine destroyed him. Spoiler alert, but you'll know why when I get to the final match. But he destroyed him, and I thought the Machine was a badass. It was like Arnold Schwarzenegger and John Cena had a baby. Um, John Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Terminator and John Cena had a baby. That's what he reminded me of. He was a really good wrestler too. I thought he did a really great job, and the match was entertaining as all hell. I would say it's probably my second favorite match of the movie. Um, but we'll see when I get to match 5 how I feel. Now for the fifth and final match. It is Leon of the Wasteland versus Russian Crush versus the Machine. As far as final matches go, this is a great one. My favorite of the movie, it's still match 3, but this is a pretty great one to end on. I think all 3 of them did a great job wrestling. The Machine and Leon of the Wasteland were great though, but to me, my favorite wrestler of this assortment is still Russian Crush. Not just because she is a hot babe and she is very, very good looking, but I think she is the best wrestler of the 3, and that's no offense to the other 2. I think Leon and the Machine do a great job, and they really hold their own. But Russian Crush, she steals the show. She did a great job, and like I said, it ends with a bang. Um, a great way to end Kill City Cup, America's most badass tournament. So all in all, Kill City Cup is a cheesy good time. And the good thing about it, it only runs 54 minutes, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's the perfect B movie to watch on a rainy afternoon, pop you some corn, get your favorite snack, get yourself a cold drink, and just sit back and have a good old-fashioned time. Um, but I will say of everybody, I recommend it the most to wrestling fans. I think wrestling fans will get a kick out of it the most. I think the assortment of characters are really cool for the most part. The wrestling is pretty good as well. There's some kind of digital effects, but due to the low budget of the movie, that's just the nature of the beast. So you got to get over that. And I thought it was actually really funny as well. I thought Brian Cars, who played Mr. Kill, I thought his commentary was absolutely hilarious. So you got cool characters, hot babes, funny commentary, and basically, if you took John Cena and he made it with Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Terminator movies, the Machine would be his love child. And come on, you want to see that. I know you do. And even the better news is you can watch this movie for free right now on YouTube. I'll have a link down in the description. Now, if you're a physical media person, and I understand because I am as well, there are DVDs in the works with some special features. So if you're interested in a DVD, comment below. Let me or Luke Robert know that you'd be interested in watching the movie on DVD. And Luke Robert, let's talk about him for a minute. I got to give him a big thank you for throwing this movie my way. Like I said, it's been nearly a year since I've reviewed, and I've probably done like a million takes of this review, and this is the best it's going to get. I'm really really rusty, but I appreciate him, letting me watch this movie because you know, he found me, through my YouTube channel and messaged me on Facebook, and he asked me if I would like to review this. And I said absolutely, especially if I ever watch. Especially after I watched the trailer, because I was like, a wrestling movie? I've never reviewed a wrestling movie or B movie madness, so I was really excited to do it. Then I saw it was under an hour, and that was perfect for me, because when something like this goes on for like half hour or more, sometimes 2 hours, it can get really grating. But he was smart and made it short and to the point. He gave you the wrestling, and it completely delivered on that. Now, I haven't talked to him about this, but I would really like to see sequels to this. Like, he can make this ongoing series, and I would watch every single one of them. Bring in some new characters, face off with the champions of the last tournament. I would watch the hell out of it. So I'm really, 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 really excited, see if he's going to continue doing this or do something. Hell, if he does something different, like original outside of this, I'd still watch whatever he does because um, he delivered the thing. The, he delivered the thing. He delivered the kind of movie I wanted. A cheesy B movie treat that didn't last too long, had some cool characters, hot babes, and that's all this B movie fan wants. Um, but if you lasted to the very end of this review, then thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I do want to do more reviews. I got 2 in the works. Well, I got 1 in the works that I've been working on for nearly a year. So sorry for taking too long with that. It's a book. That's why it's taking me so long. And I think I have a screener coming up. I hope it's one I'm looking forward to. But that's all for now. If you like my channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. What is your favorite wrestling movie? If I have to give me a favorite wrestling movie, I'd probably give No Holds Barred. I really enjoy No Holds Barred, but I also really like Body Slam from Hal Needman. That's a really entertaining movie with Roddy Piper. But either of those two, what's your favorite? Let me know down below. But that's all for now. I'm Jonathan Knight. This has been B Movie Madness. Thanks for watching.